it's just that when we notice that stuff like that happens, we have to check in and be like, okay, this is what you originally told me that you were looking for. What's going on now? And why is there a shift in the properties that you're looking for? Is it because you're feeling desperation energy? Because what happens when they start feeling that desperation energy, they like start grasping and they're like, they're dysregulated. We're here talking about the GR.E.A.T decision framework. And GR.E.A.T stands for ground, research, examine, align, and take action. And it is a process, a framework that Camille and I use when we work with our clients who are buying or selling homes. And so in this video, we're talking about align. And the align step is an interesting one. It's actually two things. It represents two things in the process. The first one is aligning with our clients' original stated goals. So when they start working with us, we go through what they want. Like, so if you're buying it, we're working with a buyer, we talk to the buyer about what they're looking for in their next home. So you're looking for, of course, numbers of bedrooms and bathrooms, and how much land do you want, and but also, what are you hoping to experience in this home? Like, how do you want to feel in your home? What do you want the neighborhood to be like? What do you need proximity to work, or proximity to nature or city or amenities? What are you looking for? So we kind of map all of that stuff out when we first start working with them. And at this stage of the game, we check back in with those original stated needs to see if what they're looking at now is still aligned with that, and if it's changed, then why. So that's one part of the process. The other part of align is also, if we're ready to make an offer, or if we're accepting offers on a listing, we have to align with the other party. And we have to come to a mutually beneficial agreement, ultimately, hopefully. And that is what Camille and I strive for on the Sarji team, is that we come to a mutually beneficial agreement, that our deals are not contentious in any way. And so in this case, from a buyer's standpoint, if we're ready to make an offer, what is the seller looking for? And so oftentimes that'll involve a conversation with the listing agent, what's going on with the seller, what's ideal for them as far as time. It could be timeline, it could be, they're looking to net a certain amount of money, that kind of thing. And how can we make our buyer's offer, attractive to the seller? So we're aligning with both parties. On the listing side, same thing. We are looking to net a certain amount. We're looking for a certain closing time frame, whatever is important to the seller. And we're talking to the buyer agent about what our seller needs in order to align in that way. So it's really both things. The align step is a very important one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think people I need two full bathrooms is necessary. I need to have that.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they're sending us listings that are one bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I tell this to new agents, don't restrict your search too much, because they're not gonna find the home that they want. And what were you gonna say?
Yeah. No, that's often a signal of desperation. On the buyer side, if they've said it's absolutely non-negotiable that I need an ensuite master, and I need a guest bathroom, and then they start sending listings with one bathroom, or they start saying, hey, I like that. They're not sending listings to us, but they're starting to like listings that we've sent them that only have one bathroom. And it might be because they're like, okay, I'm open to construction. I'm open to building my second bathroom. That's different than I can't find the home that I'm looking for, and so now I'm willing to take anything. And so it's just that when we notice that stuff like that happens, we have to check in and be like, okay, this is what you originally told me that you were looking for. What's going on now? And why is there a shift in the properties that you're looking for? Is it because you're feeling desperation energy? Because what happens when they start feeling that desperation energy, they like start grasping, and they're like they're dysregulated. That's, you know, and so we kind of go back to that ground phase of like, okay, let's slow this down. Like, it doesn't have to be desperation energy. The home that you want is out there. It's just not there right now, and it will come. We just need to take the time that it takes for it to arrive. And we help them kind of come back to themselves. Or we reset, you know, maybe they now are open to renovation loans, you know, maybe they're now open to building on to an existing home to have have their dream home, and they're not looking for the exact, you know, so maybe their priorities have changed. But it's a great time to have a check-in conversation when we see those kinds of shifts.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Good.
Makes sense.